out what the hell I'm doing at a medical conference. Actually, I was a biomedical graduate student in 1979, and I wanted to do basically identify genetic code using optical process back in 1979. Turns out that wasn't possible back then. Even if I had patented, it would have expired before it was possible. But that's another story altogether. So I want to bring today, just give you just a quick intro to the field of what AI is. I think there's a lot of confusion from people, and I'm sure a lot of you are already using it or thinking about using it, and some of the people in the speaker have been using it for many years. And it's a field that I think, particularly in the medical field, people need to be very cautious about. A little history. AI has been around for long, not really that long, to be honest. The term AI was only coined in 1956, if I'm correct there. And I personally do not use the term AI, because AI, the two words are artificial intelligence. What people call AI today, I don't really think have much intelligence in it, and I'll explain a little bit about why that is. But it sort of went through many, what we call AI winter, in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I first used machine learning, well, not machine learning, the wrong term, neural network 25 years ago when we used it for color correction on film. And it's really a great tool for solving problems that cannot be described mathematically or analytically, because it's really a process to give you a better guess at solution to problem. And what is AI today, right? AI today, there's no intelligence. There's really no learning per se. Learning means you would have to do reasoning and utilize that knowledge, and all of us learn as human, and we utilize it, and we have intelligence, we can process it, we can extrapolate things, and we can imagine new things. But AI doesn't, in what is being done today, doesn't really do that. But it's magical in the sense that you can train it with a lot of data, and it will learn from that data in a sort of able to take that data and find answer for you, better than any human can, by far. Sorry. So it's really replacing traditional statistical, process with what people call machine learning nowadays, or deep learning, right? It's really good at finding the optimum answer to a huge set of, within a whole set of data. So it's needle in a haystack. It's really good at that, right? And you have to understand that is what it's good at. You can do magical things. And you will see today people are starting to do that, using the technology to do amazing things in ways you wouldn't imagine, right? And it's obviously a place where the more data, the better it is, right? Because to learn from a lot of knowledge to extract the right answer is what today's AI is all about. And so it's a great tool to amplify existing knowledge. It will not invent the new knowledge. There's no imagination. There's no creativity. It's actually the funniest thing nowadays, coming from the visual world, people are using AI to do creative work, and it's pretty funny to look at those. And this year alone, there's over $100 billion investing in the AI, quote, AI business, which is amazing. But hopefully, the question, I was at an AI conference last week, and the most common question people had, they think, are we in another AI winter coming? Right, we're very cautious about it. So what is AI today in medicine? Is good for any type of IoT device or device that connects it, because the machine learning back-end, AI back-end, can help you get to analyze that data very quickly, much faster and much more accurately than a human can if you have the proper training, right, or learning. And then it's great in assisting in diagnosis, by looking, because it remembers everything, right? It turns out one of the first set of jobs that were lost for people who use machine learning is people in the legal field, right? People who go to the library and go to the record and look up past legal cases for comparison. is all pretty much done by machine learning nowadays. It's really good looking up large amount of information, finding the closest match. So in diagnostic, it works very well. In patient info system, other people will go into that. And then obviously in research, right? It's a great tool for researcher because now empower you to look at more and more data and make sense of it much more easily without getting a PhD in data science. Because it's sort of a really easy thing to use. I don't know, most of you probably think about using it. I really recommend try it on your own. You can take a class and in half an hour set up your own machine learning system and start using it. It's really that simple. You don't need a really complex college degree to get it done. They made it so easy, in fact, easy enough to be dangerous. So here's just key factors I think people need to really understand before they jump too deep into this field, right? You have to be very cautious because the quality of data really matters. Garbage in, garbage out, right? If you go train your kids on all the bad stuff, they will do the bad stuff, right? So you really important to value your data. It's particularly in the medical field, the quality of data is very important. I mean, I can speak for many hours on that one. Okay, so here's all the things that you need to recognize, but really what you need to know is there are limitations, but you need to really understand that AI currently can classify but not anticipate. It can recognize but not understand, right? It's really about looking at the large data and finding the optimum answer. That's really what it's really good at today. It may change in the future, but so the cost of training, turns out, is not the machine learning AI part, it's actually the infrastructure. If you're building a business, I've known so many businesses that almost gone out of business because they misunderstood the cost. The actual machine learning on the data part, the AI part, is really minimal compared to the cost of maintaining and managing all your data. So you have to be very cautious. And make sure you put more emphasis on prepping your data so you have quality, well-labeled data. Then you would be much more successful. And the other thing that people always don't understand about this field is that the training process are continuous. It never stops. Because you can reinvent. As I said earlier, you can set up an AI system for yourself at home very easily. But what you learn very quickly is you can improve that system every 5 minutes. So if you have a large data set you need to train, the system you use that can learn from that or train from that can improve and evolve faster than you can train it. So you have to be very cautious. And some people have like very large data set realize that by the time they finish training now, everything would be obsolete. So for a business, that's some cost factor you have to think about when you plan long term. So that's very important. So some of those just things, flags I want to raise. But now let's move on. Thank you. I'll be done with this for now. But later on today, I'll talk about sort of my imagination of what I think AI can do in the medical field. So not going